Workers of JoyNews Communications, the company belonging to deported Indian businessman Ashok Sivaram, have given government 1 week to allow Mr. Sivaram to return to Ghana or face their wrath. Mr. Sivaram was on Sunday, March 11, arrested and deported by officers of the Ghana Immigration Service. Now that followed a Supreme Court ruling that quashed a High Court decision ordering a restoration of his residence and work permit. The court held that he should have petitioned the Interior Minister before rushing to court. He has since sent that petition, but even before a response comes from the minister, his workers are unhappy and are staging a protest. JoyNews' Hannah Odame joined the workers and has filed this report.
So this is the second of such demonstrations by workers of JoyNews Communications. They are protesting the deportation of their employer Ashok. And we all know that on Sunday he was deported back to India as a result of some issues he has with immigration service. I'll talk to Richard, who is the deputy administrator, to tell us why they keep demonstrating. Now, Richard, this is the second of such demonstrations.
Yeah.
What exactly do you want?
All we are seeking is that we need him back.
Okay.
That is our message.
Okay.
We need him back. Okay. It's as simple as that.
Okay. So are you trying to say that without his presence you can work?
Yes, it's just like a father in the house who is no more at home. We don't want to be single parented. Yeah. We need him back. That is our message.
How long are you going to continue to do this? Because right now he has some issues with immigration that he's dealing with. So till that solution is found, will you continue to do this?
Yeah, we will continue to do it till he comes.
Won't you be working so that at least you generate revenue also?
Yeah, that is what we want to tell the president. That yes, our demonstration is what? It's affecting our work. Because we are supposed to what? To do a job of which we are going to pay a tax of it. So if we are not working, there will not be any revenue to pay to him.
Then whilst all this tussle is being sorted, why don't you get back to work? At least you have done one demonstration so that that issue is sorted. Then you can also generate revenue.
So when is he coming? When he comes, we will get more jobs. And that is what we want.
So you're not going to work till he comes?
We are not going to work till he comes.
What happens to the company then?
That is, yes, that means Ghana don't want investors.
You have held this demonstration twice. Who exactly are you directing? I've seen
we have written a petition as the court directed, the Supreme Court directed, that we should what? They were giving him 7 days to write a petition to the Interior Minister. So we submitted the petition to the Interior Minister, to the Minister of Labour, and then the Ghana Immigration Service, as well as the President.
And what response have you gotten so far?
Apart from the acknowledgement that we received, till now we've not received any.
You haven't had any issue where you've been told that this day meets them for some kind of dialogue?
Not yet.
Okay, so right now you haven't heard from them and you are demonstrating. So what next will you do? Because right now he's not in the country and you say you're not going to work till he comes.
Yes. Yeah. What our next action is that to match to the Immigration Service through the Interior Minister.
When is that going to be?
They are giving them about 7 days. Soon. Very soon. As soon as possible.
So for how long have you not worked?
Since Monday.
Since Monday?
Yes.
At the end of the month, you will expect some salary. Where is that going to come from?
It's going to come from him. And he's the only signatory we have to.
Okay.
That is our cry. He's the only signatory we have. How are we going to top?
But you have to work so that at least maybe he might even come before the end of the month so that he can sign some money for you.
He can sign some money for us. Yeah. That is if he's here.
So let's assume that let's assume that everything is going to work out and by next week or next 2 weeks he's in. If you are not working and he comes, how is he going to get the money to pay you?
He's going to get the money to pay us.
How?
Because it's going to affect the company.
Yeah.
That is it. Because instead of us being productive.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So are you okay for fitting your salary just to continue asking that government brings him back?
Yes, because we want equal justice.
So you don't mind if you forfeit your salary?
For sure.
Hannah Odame there with some of the workers. I have it here in the studio. George Otempondankwa, he's the administrative manager of JoyNews Communications. Sir, you're welcome to the studio and thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Let me start by finding out how the absence of Mr. Ashok affects the operations of the company?
Okay, thank you. Mr. Ashok Kumar is our director, and that is the resident director of the company.
He's the resident director of the company.
He's been here for a very long time, leading the team of Jamai Communications. In fact, formerly he was based in Nigeria, running Ghana, Nigeria, and Cameroon together.
Okay.
But he moved down in 2013 to work on the Ghana company because it was going down.
Okay.
Between 2013 and now, our workforce at 2013 was about 3840. Now we are about 154.
You have 154 staff?
About 154 staff, paid salaried staff, excluding our subcontractors, our casual laborers, our security, and others.
Okay.
So if you want to bring all these people on board, we are more than about 300.
Okay.
Depending on the company. Suddenly, somewhere last year, he was picked by immigration, and before we knew, he was thrown out of the country.
Yes, we know the story. What I'm trying to find out from you is how his absence is affecting operations of the company.
In fact, you see, the issue is he being the director and being absent without any notice, without any formal discussions, without any arrangements down for somebody to take over, or it's seriously affecting the company.
Yes, tell us how it's affecting the company. How is it affecting the company, his absence?
There are issues that needs to be followed.
Okay.
He didn't delegate me, he didn't delegate any other person to take that charge.
Okay. So now the company has been left with no leadership. But I want to be able to understand, because here is a foreign national who has employed Ghanaians. And because Ghanaians are involved, I'm trying to find out how the absence of the foreign national is affecting you, the Ghanaians that he's left behind, in terms of the operations of the company. So you need to make that a bit clear. Now that he's not there,
yes,
what is going to happen to you, the workers?
Our fear is we may not be getting jobs. Currently, maybe a week or two we'll be working. There are jobs for us to handle. But after that, what happens? If you don't get additional jobs, we'll be forced to go home to add to the overburden unemployment. That is our fear.
Now that he is not there, who is his deputy?
We have a project manager.
Okay.
Yes.
Can the project manager not do the work that he was supposed to do when he was here?
He can do up to his level.
But now, even though he's not around, technology makes communication very easy.
Yes.
He can still get in touch with you, with the company, so he can still operate the company. He said earlier that he was operating from Nigeria.
Yeah, he was doing that. And I've also explained that when he was not here, the company was also working as it should.
Okay.
Or the level of projects we were having was low. But once he moved in and was able to make the direct contacts and other things, the company boomed.
Okay.
That's
so your fear right now is that his absence will make you lose some jobs, and it might end up making you unemployed.
Yes, that's our fear.
What are the contingency plans that you are putting together as we speak? Because we're not sure about his immigration status. As we speak, what are you doing in the company? You are the administrative head. What are you doing to make sure that the Ghanaians who have been involved in this are not adversely affected by the situation?
For now, whatever work we have on the field, we've arranged and we are handling.
Okay. So
that at least by the end of the month or two, we'll be able to have our daily bread. But after that, we have serious fears.
Now you're demonstrating, and we just seen a report where some of your colleagues have been speaking to my colleague Hannah, demonstrating. Will that solve the problem? Will that rather worsen the situation?
Oh, in fact, I wouldn't call it a demonstration. Okay. We are always voicing our protest against deportation. Excuse me, as we speak, there's no deportation order on Mr. Ashok, because the deportation order issued on 15th July, on 15th May last year, was quashed by a court. It
was quashed, but then another court, the appeals courts, reinstated it.
The deportation order was quashed by a high court. That has not been challenged. And then when he applied to the Minister for Interior for reinstatement, after his comeback, he petitioned the Minister for Interior, even before coming back. For over years, for over months, he didn't respond. So he advised he consulted his lawyer, and the case was taken to court. Then the High Court then said they should reinstate him. That is what has been quashed by Supreme Court, saying that the court doesn't have that jurisdiction because it is the Interior Minister. But I think earlier he appealed to the Interior Minister, which didn't work. And the Supreme Court on Thursday last week didn't say Ashok should be deported. It said he didn't utilize all the avenues available. So
the previous decision taken by the High Court was quashed by the Supreme Court. So it means that the status quo remains. Do you understand?
Let me clarify something here.
Okay.
There are two issues we are talking about. One is the question of the deportation order, and one is the restoration of his permit by another court. It is the restoration of his permit that has been quashed. But the question of the order of the minister.
So basically, he does not have permits to live in the country.
At the moment,
that's what the court.
At the moment, he doesn't have.
Exactly. So the fact that he's been deported doesn't break any law.
He's not been deported.
He's been deported.
He's been repatriated. Repatriation is different from deportation. The deportation will be done by the minister. That has been quashed, and the minister has not deported him again. It is the Immigration Service that said.
Let's not really get entangled in this court's issue. Let's look at those of you who are here, and the company that he has left behind, and how you move the Ghanaians who have been employed forward. From the first 2 months, you say you probably be able to work things out and pay the people. But moving it forward, what I want to find out is how do you solve the problem by demonstrating? If you want to petition the Interior Minister, for example, is the demonstration that you did, for example, today, the way to go? Is that the way to go?
It is not. I wouldn't call it demonstration. I will not call it demonstration. I don't know if you have the earlier clip. I spoke. And I said, we're not demonstrating. We're only sending our petition to the minister.
Have you sent it?
We've done that.
Okay. What did the minister say?
For now, we've not had any information from him.
Since when did you send your petition?
Yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning. Yes. So let's say it's still early days here. Today it's a Friday, so hopefully next week you get some responses from him. So who is in charge at the company at the moment?
I wouldn't point somebody specific. We are about 4. So we'll meet and discuss what needs to be done and we take decisions on that.
So who carries out the decisions that you take?
If it is project, we have the project manager. If it is administrative duties, I do.
What's going to be your next line of action?
We will still petition the minister. And possibly, if we don't hear anything, we'll be forced to petition the president.
Mr. Ashok himself petitioned the president. Has there been any response on that?
There has not been any response, but that was on a different issue. He petitioned the president at the time he has returned to Ghana. It was being pursued by immigration.
Okay. All right. Let me take your very final word, sir, and then we'll move on from there. What's your final word? My final word is that we as workers of JoyNews Communication, we are petitioning the minister. We are appealing to him that our welfare, our future is at stake. So he should reconsider the decision. The Supreme Court gave an order that he should write a petition to the minister. We've done that. So in considering the petition, he should consider the workers. Okay. You want the minister to consider the workers in considering the petition. Mr. Otimpon Dankwa, thank you very much for coming. George Otimpon Dankwa is the administrative manager of JoyNews Communications, the company whose head or whose manager has been deported, Mr. Ashok Sivaram.